Good morning, folks. I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and today I'm going to talk to you about a case that I had not too long ago. And it involved a person who was charged with DUI. And, sometimes when people come to the office, they're a little quirky. I guess that's a good word, quirky. And you go, they're a little odd, but, we all have our social awkward moments, I guess, right? And sometimes when people are speaking to an attorney, for whatever reason, they're nervous. And I do my best to really be like the guy next door, the neighbor who, happens to be good at the law and is helping you out. So I meet with this person and their significant other. And I don't know, as they leave, I just go, okay, kind of a nervous Nelly personality. At least that's my take on it, but I promise to do my best. They sign up from a diversion / plea type of fee schedule. So, and I always do that on DUIs for the most part. I do it at a reduced number, so I can get the discovery, look at it, and then determine if they still want to take the plea. If I see, worthy motions, if I see technical arguments that I can file motions on or explore, then they pay an additional fee to do that. But I don't want to charge someone a huge fee, or what they may perceive as a huge fee, and then go, hey, sorry, couldn't help you. I can't find anything. So I kind of do it a little bit different than some other attorneys. So anyway, part of that process is acquiring the video, looking at the breath alcohol testing records, meaning the Intoxilizer 8000, and just reviewing all the discovery. So on this case, I end up talking to the client a few times, and they are, they're nice and they're responsive, but quirky. Again, I just keep getting that, like, quirky, almost like anxious. And I get it, right? Because you're dealing with a criminal case, so of course you're going to be anxious. But I'm starting to think maybe it's not just dealing with me or dealing with the case. Maybe it's part of the personality. So anyway, I acquired the video, or videos. Usually on DUIs, there's different perspectives. It could be a dash cam, a body camera, another officer, that kind of thing. So I received the videos, and at first some of the video doesn't have sound, and I can't hear everything. But on the second video, it's supported and I can see it. But at first, I just kind of watched the mannerisms, kind of like watching a movie with the sound off. And when the sound's off, I'm going, man, this person's movements are odd. And not necessarily intoxicated, but odd. So I go, that's weird. Okay, so I go to the next part of the video where that officer actually has his audio on. And I listen, and I see mood changes. What I would deem as mood changes, and what I think a trained officer would view as mood changes, where the person's nice, but they raise their voice, and then they're almost sad and depressed, and then they're sort of yelling with anger. And again, you can term it many different ways, but it's my observation. As I'm going through the video, I start to think, like, my goodness, does this client have mental illness? Is there something going on with the person? And maybe I didn't, wasn't around them enough, didn't have enough phone calls with them, or, in office meetings. I'm starting to think maybe there's something going on upstairs here. And now, as a defense attorney, I got to start thinking about competency. Now, competency isn't determined by me, but if I think something is truly off, then it's my duty as an officer of the court to bring it to the court's attention and request a competency evaluation for the client. Sometimes clients aren't happy about that, but that's part of the process. But I talked to this person and listen, I think that they understand what the judge's role is and what my role is and what a jury's role is and the prosecutor, etc. All the players in the court. And they do answer my questions correctly. So I go, they're quirky, but the blood alcohol level showed that there was alcohol in their system. But it just goes to show you, I'm a trained DUI attorney. I've been doing it for a long time. I've taken all the courses that police officers have. I'm a NHTSA instructor. And but for the blood alcohol level, if I take that scenario out and just looking, because remember, the officer doesn't have a blood alcohol reading at the scene, right? When you're pulled over on the side of the road or what have you. That doesn't come until after the arrest. But if I was just looking at the video, I would have thought that this person was either impaired or was dealing with mental illness. And man, it's a thin line. I mean, I had to go back and watch the videos a couple of times and really read through the police report and really take a concerted effort to speak to my client. The reality is there's probably some mental health issues, whatever you would term quirkiness. And again, I know there's some people watching that go, hey, you're not a doctor. I know I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you based on my experience. I think that the person is odd, and those oddities, those social inadequacies that, socially awkward, came across as possibly impaired. So if the person didn't have those things, would they have been arrested? I guess that's what it comes down to, right? So can mental illness or social awkwardness, could that be misinterpreted by a police officer? Now, as I make this video, I go, I don't know, maybe I should have made that argument, but I don't think I've ever made that argument before. It's usually someone is mentally incapacitated where they have a serious mental health issue that they don't really recognize or realize what's going on. And I don't think that was the case with this person. But could, and there's attorneys that watch. Has anyone ever filed a motion making that argument? Roots with ginger. I don't think it would be a successful argument, but I think that it's an argument that's worth exploring, and I'll probably do more research on the issue because, during the course of my career, I have dealt with people who were different. And is there something to be said about that? Now, obviously, if I was going to a jury trial, I would talk about that. And in order to talk about that, I'd probably consider asking the client to take the stand. That's usually not a good thing in my job, right? Is having a defendant get on the stand, but it's their choice. And to show the awkwardness, to show the quirkiness, to show that the same things that I as an attorney see in my office are similar to what that officer saw on the side of the road when he pulled this person over. that's it's worth exploring from a defense perspective. I don't know, just my thoughts. Now, the problem with this case was I also had a blood alcohol level that was 1.5 times closer to 2 times the limit. So I didn't think that this case was the case that I was going to do this with. But I got to tell you, the client was a very nice person. Just the oddities just kept jumping out at me. So I don't know. I talk about criminal defense and personal injury, and this is one of the things that I was that I paused. That I paused and really thought about it and examined, and trying to help the client make a determination of whether their case was a plea case or a trial case, and ultimately the case was a plea case. So anyway, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. Have a great day. See ya.